Okay, this month's walk down MoMry Lane is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to take you on a journey back into the bigger gigs that we've played in the past. I'll be talking about the first ever festival we played, which was Bloodstock Festival. And we actually played our first gig on a thing called the Jaeger stage, which is the smallest stage at the festival. Real turning point for the band, I think, playing at a festival, and it definitely got us noticed by a lot of people in the press and things like that. And I just want to share some memories with you. It's going to be various things, little clips of on-stage stuff, maybe a little bit of interviews and some photos from the actual festival itself. So enjoy.
What's the band name again?
Morass of Molasses. Just think more
Morass.
And so that was 2015, and then we played Bloodstock again. We got asked back in 2017, and this time we got asked back to play on a much bigger stage, a stage called the Sophie stage. And this was obviously a move up for the band, and the good thing was it hadn't been that long since we played before, and so a lot of people in the press remembered us, and so that I remember it was a lot, they were familiar. Just before we played on the Sophie stage, something quite nice happened, and that was all the people from Reading that were there to see us. They all started singing along with the start of Serpentine, and I'll just show you a bit of that now. The performance itself was amazing. I mean, playing in front of that many people, we'd gone from playing in front of hundreds of people to playing in front of literally thousands of people, so that was different. Straight after we got off stage, I ended up getting a little bit drunk, like you would, and I did an interview when I was drunk.
Oh!
Love those big fat riffs.
I'm liking that one. We've gone cosmic.
So there you go, that was Bloodstock Festival in 2017. That was quite the memory, and I think back on it fondly, and I think it was definitely a high point. Obviously, the major thing that happened to the band after that was that our old drummer, Chris, he left after Bloodstock because I guess he just didn't feel like he could take the pressure of it anymore, which is fine, because we got Raj, so that's good. The next thing we played after that was a thing called Sophie Fest, which was by the people that are behind the Sophie stage at Bloodstock, and they asked us to play this little festival in Manchester, so I'll show you a little clip of that now. So that Sophie Festival you just saw was something that happens quite a lot in the stoner and doom scene, when they're kind of like, they call themselves festivals, but they're actually sort of all-dayers in a normal venue, but they have a lot of bands playing. But the next thing that was actually a festival we played, which had a similar characteristic, was something called Desert Fest in London. What it actually is a series of venues that all get together and all put on gigs all at the same time in the same genre, and you kind of literally move from venue to venue. It's quite a cool idea, actually. And we played in a place in Camden called the Dev, so I'll show you some footage of that now. wasn't the only festival we played in 2018 now. We also played something called Hard Rock Hell in Sheffield, and it was their Doom versus Stoner version. And that, again, we got to play on a very big stage in front of a lot of people, and that was our last big show, because obviously we all know what's happened since. That was really good. That was a really fun gig, and I think that was the biggest gig Raj had played with us as well, so that was definitely a big thing for him. Now I'm going to show you some footage of when we played Hard Rock Hell. Enjoy. It's been fun actually going back through all this footage and looking back on these old gigs and realising the achievements, I guess, of playing big festivals and stuff like that, because you tend to focus on touring and that, which is usually smaller venues, and you forget about the really big gigs you've played. So it's been good to look back on them and look at all the fun memories around that. Hope you guys have enjoyed looking back on these things too, and for some of you that might have actually been there, it's fun to watch. Obviously, as ever, thanks to our Patreons for helping us out. They literally help support the band when we're not gigging, and that's what they're doing now. If you're interested, consider checking out the Patreon page. See you next month.